Not sure if this is a coup or what we got, but we're ready up here, okay? All right. Good morning. Call this meeting of the Okaloosa County School Board Workshop to order for March 23rd, 2026. Okay. All right, board members, first thing will be the approval of the agenda, and we do have some changes. So on the consent agenda, we've added 7.23 certification of the Okaloosa County School District Facilities FISH data for 26, presented by Dustin Keith, Program Director of Facilities Planning, and recommended by the Superintendent. 7.24 high school athletic game admission price proposal, presented by the high school principals and recommended by the superintendent. Okay. All right, we're going to be recognizing our Youth Leadership Council tonight. Always enjoy seeing that group of students and what they bring to us. They're going to do a presentation, correct, Mr. Spolsky? Yeah, that's great. All right, moving along, Section 4, Administrative Personnel Appointments. We're going to be appointing Director 1 of Academic and Student Services, recommended by the superintendent.
And Ms. Ivanchik.
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to point out that this position is filling a vacant position. As you know, Ms. Holly, too, has moved on to Walton County, and absolute blessings for her. Mm-hmm. But we are filling this vacant position.
Right. Thank you, sir. Okay, moving on to 5, public comment for agenda items. That's the blue card, 5.1. All right. Section 6, committee and staff reports. 6.1 is in-county travel for February 26th, recommended by Ms. Perry. 6.2, out-of-county travel for February 26th, recommended by Ms. Perry. 6.3, Okaloosa County School District Board audited financial statements for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 25, presented by Ms. Perry. And did we want to have Ms. Perry make any kind of statement on that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ms. Perry, if you come forward on the audit, please.
Yes, this is.
Oh, you had it, yeah.
This is the audit of the district budget, the $800 million budget. And I'm just proud to say that we had no findings. The auditors didn't find anything of concern. No questions. It was very smooth. I'm very, very proud of everybody.
Listen, that's what I want to say. It's, thank you so much to you and your team and what they do. I mean, to have that amount of money and have no findings, no glitches at all is truly amazing and such professional work. So we appreciate it. I know it's challenging, but it's good. Board members, you have anything?
Other than, yeah, that's remarkable. Very, very proud.
Yeah, thank you.
And I know we talked on the phone Friday, so
yes,
thank
sir.
you for all that you did.
Thank you so much.
And this is, who does this audit?
This audit was done by Carriggs and Ingram.
Independent audit.
Right, they do 2 years, and then the 3rd year will be the Auditor General, so it's up that cycle.
Okay.
And Ms. Perry, just to be very clear, there's different levels of findings that they can come up with in this audit, all the way to something that's very extreme to nothing. Just
Right.
briefly explain that.
What normally you can have findings that are just like improvement points, or there's and I'm trying to remember. I can't remember the exact titles, but there's 4 levels of findings, and we did not even have a level 1. They didn't even have anything that they questioned us about, which we were kind of surprised they were being so quiet, but we were very happy about that. Yeah.
Great. Again, congratulations and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on to the consent agenda. 7.1 will be the approval. 7.2, approval of the minutes of the student disciplinary hearings on March 9th and minutes of the workshop meeting on March 9th. Also minutes of the regular meeting, March 9th, recommended by the superintendent. 7.3, appropriation of District 1 School Board Member Capital Outlay Funds to Choctawhatchee High School for band room flooring in the amount of $15,000 presented by Dr. White. 7.4, appropriation of District 2 School Board Member Capital Outlay Funds to Choctawhatchee High School for band room flooring in the amount of $2,000 presented by Mr. Destin. 7.5, appropriation of District 3 School Board Member Capital Outlay Funds to Crestview High School for a digital fingerprinting device in the amount of $3,611 presented by me, recommended by the superintendent. 7.6, appropriation of District 3 School Board Member Capital Outlay Funds to Choctawhatchee High School for band room flooring in the amount of $4,000 presented by me. 7.7, appropriation of District 4 School Board Member Capital Outlay Funds to Choctawhatchee High School for band room flooring in the amount of $2,000 presented by Mr. Bryant. 7.8, appropriation of District 4 School Board Member Capital Outlay Funds to Crestview High School for a digital fingerprinting device in the amount of $3,000 presented by Mr. Bryant.
Ms. Vancheck, may I comment on these last few items?
Since all those principals sitting out there, I think that'd be good.
So, once again, it just shows that this school board works together to serve not only the schools that we serve, but all of the schools that are in the school district. So it's an honor that I get to serve CHS on the north and help CHS on the south. So, but all of us do that, and it is appropriate that all of y'all are here today, so we can say thank you for all that you do. Don't ask Mr. Heinley for any money; he has none.
He has none. He's not good.
But it's an honor to help y'all get through these projects and all that, and my fellow board members too. So.
And for the public out there, you might have heard that we literally kind of piecemeal it out, what we can do to each thing to cover the cost. But we generally try to do everything we can to take care of the request, because we know ultimately that's the best for our students. So it's good that we all work together. You good? Okay. All right. Moving down to 7.9, invoices to be approved for payment, presented by Ms. Perry. 7.10, school donations, presented by Ms. Perry. Mr. Heinley's not here to give us an update. He keeps a rolling tally, but we always appreciate donations we receive from the public, and we get quite a few.
So I am filling in for him on that today. So
do you have numbers for us?
I do. So
okay.
We're up to $482,701.71. And again, this is people within the community who are supporting our schools. And if you look, Beulah First Baptist Church helped pay off debt for food services for students at Wright and Elliott Point. And they're not the only organization that has done that. But as Mr. Chambers has said in the past, and we all have said, we live in such a great community that supports our schools. And without these businesses and organizations, we couldn't do it without them. So like Mr. Heinley says, we all say support those who support us.
All right, 7.11, payroll warrant register and accounts payable warrant register totaling $34,150,357.64. Self-help insurance claims and fees totaling $2,633,495.32, and bank transfers totaling $0 for February 26. 7.12, payroll calendars for the fiscal year 26-27, presented by Ms. Perry. 7.13, renewal of ITB 20-12 door replacement and repair district-wide bid, presented by Mr. Wyndham. 7.14, exempted purchase over $50,000, TransFinder, presented by Vince Wyndham, Program Director Purchasing, and recommended by the Superintendent for approval. Is this the bus system? Okay, and Mr. Gore, did you want Mr. Gore to say something a little bit about that?
Sure, Mr. Gore is always, he's always prepared to come forward.
Yeah.
And he thought the phone calls were going to get him off the hook. Huh?
He's yeah, you're a camera hog there, Mr. Gore, right?
I strategically sit in the back for that reason. So.
This This is
All right, how's
exciting, though. This is an exciting thing we're doing.
Yes, ma'am, it is. And so I know we spoke last week, and so we're excited about trying to step up our technology game in transportation. And so what this is a tablet system for our drivers that's going to push out routes and real-time navigation for them. If there are street closings, it'll reroute them. But ideally, what it's going to do is going to show the route for that driver. They're not having to look at a piece of paper if somebody's subbing on a route. And so it's going to make it safer for the students, safer for the driver. But the piece that we're very excited about is the real-time communication piece with parents. There's an app that they can download, excuse me. And what that's going to allow them to do is set up alerts on their phone. So they'll get an estimated time of arrival on the route for their stop for their student. They can also set up geo alerts so they can see where the bus is at on the route. And so right now we're sending out thrill shares, giving estimated, hey, we think we're 30 minutes late, we think we're 25 minutes late. This is going to be a real picture for those parents. So it's a way to get more real-time communication with them. So we're excited where we can take this.
Yeah, I think it's good.
And do me one more favor. So we've been discussing this for, I'd say, probably 10 years. And when you look at what you and your group are doing in transportation with shortages, it's kind of remarkable what you're able to do. Just appreciation to you, your staff, and especially the bus drivers who make it work. But also talk about, just a little bit more in depth, how we've been trying to come here and the efficiencies that this will help with.
Sure. So the software, so we're not going to see a huge influx of drivers in the next 2 years. I mean, we're just going to deal with reality, right? So we have to look at what we have to work with. And so by using technology to help communicate with parents better, using technology, looking at data, FT reporting, our audits that we have to go through, this is kind of giving us a foundation to build upon to make our reporting process more efficient, trying to get away from paper. So right now the drivers are doing FT using check boxes and paper, like the old attendance card, right? And so this is going to allow us to build upon, there's kind of a third phase down the road, don't want to steal any thunder, but that's going to allow us to do FT electronically, track students when they actually get on the bus, get off to the school, actually get true ridership, eligibility, see where the students are assigned on the route. And so that's going to help us be more proactive in routing. And if we need to adjust routes, the big piece right now on the safety is because of our shortages. If we have somebody that has to hop on a bus and drive a route, you know, right now we're relying upon drivers to tell us, I'm driving the route like it's supposed to be on the route sheet. What sometimes happens is that's not the case. Some driver gets on the route, they start driving like it's on the route sheet, and the kids start getting a little antsy, right? And we found that they've started making slight nuances to the route. And so this is going to allow us to say, okay, the route's being driven with fidelity. If somebody is hopping on that route to drive and fill in, they know the direction to go. They're not having to stop and rely on students to say, turn right, turn left. So it's going to be safer for everybody involved. It's going to let that driver focus on driving and not looking at directions.
That's great.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is an upgrade in safety, which is number one, giving parents a peace of mind of knowing where their child is, and then making it easier, better for our folks, especially in times of when we're really short of drivers.
And we have been piloting it this semester. I should have led with that piece. We've used 10 buses, 5 in Crestview, 3 in Fort Walton, 2 in Niceville. And so we've kind of been strategic on where we've tried, because we know with technology, we're not going to sit here and say it's going to be perfect. Okay, we know when we transition to this, there are going to be issues. So far, the feedback that we've had has been positive. There are some issues that we're working through with the vendor. They're aware of it. But there was nothing that said we need to pump the brakes on this. We know there's been a lot of successes in other districts. Whenever I go to my state meetings and speak to districts and vendors, they've seen good success with it. And so we try to pick spots where we may have spotty cell signal. And so far, we've not hit any major issues, but the issues we've found, the vendor's been very responsive. And so we've been pleased with the customer service. My piece is, anytime you deal with technology or mechanical things are gonna break. That's just a fact. But if we can pick up the phone, get somebody to fix the problem, that's what we're looking for. So.
And I'm sure that as we're looking to the next school year, we're bringing a new school online. We're having some changes in the south end.
Yes, ma'am.
So this can hopefully help sort that out as we're moving forward.
It'll be a busy summer for us this year.
I'm sure.
So, but we will get it done.
Anything else? Thank you, Mr. Gore.
All right, thank y'all.
All right. Moving on to 7.17, sale and disposal of surplus property, presented by Mr. McElroy. You got something?
15 and 16.
Oh, did I skip some? Sorry, I'm so sorry. 7.15, proposed school operational support staffing grid and school supplement grid discretionary budget for fiscal year 26-27, presented by Ms. Perry.
Madam Chair, if you don't mind.
Certainly.
So as this board knows, right now, the state legislature, they have recessed, and they will come back, what we believe will be mid-April. But this is not unlike past years in terms of the org chart, the staffing grid. And it seems like each year we go out with an org chart, a staffing grid, prior to the state budget being approved. And when I say we, districts across the state of Florida. So we will be doing that again. As you know, this org chart is important because there's the HR piece, there's the finance piece, and of course the impact to the schools. And so we have to be prepared for our recommendations timeline. This year, differently than others, we have to be prepared for Mary Esther and Longwood and making sure we do exactly what we said we were going to do, which is take care of those employees. This year, we have to be prepared for those who transfer to Pineview and to other schools. We want to make sure that that happens as smoothly as process, as well as the hiring process in general. So what you have before you is this staffing grid. And I wanted Ms. Perry to come forward just for a moment and just briefly discuss the changes for this upcoming school year.
Okay. So the changes for the upcoming school year are indicated in orange on the staffing grid. The superintendent is recommending that the cutoff for the high schools be 1,700 instead of 1,800 unweighted FTE. That is more in line with the needs of the schools.
And pause there for a second, Ms. Perry. And as this board knows, but others may not, the staffing grid is set up by unweighted FTE, but just simplistically, even though it's not this, but simplistically, by student bodies. So there's ranges, and so when she talks about from 1,800 going down to 1,700 to help, that's what she's talking about. So there's ranges in how we do the staffing grid.
Because for instance, Niceville has 2,000 bodies, but say 1,750 unweighted FTE. But this way, by bringing it to the 1,700 level, we have the two largest high schools dealing with 2,000 students in one category and then the other two in the other category. Then we've added a staffing grid for Pineview. We did base it on Lewis because they're both K-8 schools, right, pretty close to the same size. We've done a few changes with ESU Richburg. They share positions with Best Chance North, and so we've just realigned how those positions are funded between those two centers. And then one of the secretaries will go from 12 months to 10 months to match Silver Sands, but the person in the position will be grandfathered. And then we've also adjusted Okaloosa Technical College based on the percentage of K-12 students to adult students. They have less than 2%, so that staffing grid needed to reflect that. Anything else?
Any questions?
That's good, thank you.
Thank you.
And of course, this comes across as simplistic, but this is, even though there's minor changes, this has been months upon months of looking at this. And of course, this is one aspect of the budget.
I know.
One aspect of the budget. Okay?
Okay, thank you. All right, 7.16, service agreement number 26-110, Dr. Dana Stevens, presented by Mr. Wyndham. And then 7.17, sale and disposal of surplus property by Mr. McElroy. 7.18, agreement to grant Okaloosa Gas District a utility easement at Edwins Elementary School, presented by Mr. Keith. 7.19, Summer Voluntary Pre-Kindergarten Program, VPK, for 26, presented by Amy Bowles. 7.20, request for course code adoption for the 26-27 school year, presented by Stephanie Gillis. And just because my Baker folks are here and I'm excited about this course, if you don't mind, I would like to have Ms. Hurley come up because of the situation at Baker, they don't get to have as many advanced classes on campus. And tell us why we're excited about this, Ms. Hurley.
So we're always excited when we can offer something that's a little bit more rigorous than traditional programs that we've had, and ACE is one of those programs for us. We have a very successful AP program at Baker School, and our ACE target group are for students who aren't quite ready for dual enrollment, or they're not quite at the level of AP courses, but they can still take a rigorous course that will allow them to earn a college elective credit. And for the majority of the district, I believe that they have the ACE General Papers, and what we're requesting is an additional course of ACE so that our students who have taken as 11th graders ACE General Papers will have the opportunity to continue within an ACE program for their senior year.
I think it's exciting.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, and Ms. Hurley, Mr. Martello doing a great job up there at Baker being creative, but our high school principals in general, our middle school principals in general, when it comes to being creative with master schedules, to have offerings for students, and then have pathways for students, I think that that's critical. And then they also know the impact that it has with acceleration points as well. So I just appreciate Ms. Hurley, Mr. Martello, as well as our high school principals and principals in general for continuing to push the envelope for our students.
And I know our Gators could do it.
Yes, ma'am. So a lot of our students who dual enrollment opportunities are a little bit far travel for them, and some of them still do not have the internet access in their homes that they would need to be able to do all of it online. So we're really excited for this opportunity for our students.
Thank you very much. All right. 7.21, summer school programs for 2026, SIS Summer Intensive Studies, and ESY Extended School Year, presented by Dr. Small. There's no changes to that, are there, this year? Okay, thank you. All right, 7.22, dual enrollment articulation agreement between the School Board of Okaloosa County and Northwest Florida State College for 26-27, presented by Ms. Barron. 7.23, certification of the Okaloosa County School District Facilities FISH data for 2026, presented by Mr. Keith. 7.24, high school athletic game admission price proposal, presented by high school principals, and some are here today. Do you want to say anything about that?
No, I just want to thank our high school principals for collectively getting together and being on the same page. And I know you've also worked with Mr. Spolsky, but as you know, when it comes to ticket prices, being on the same page, I think is important. Mm-hmm. And to show that all 6 of them are here with their athletic directors as well, or support people with them, I think that that shows a good show of solidarity. And Mr. Spolsky, anything to add?
I just want to say, Madam Chair, thank you to the principals and the ADs. We did work on this over months, and there was a lot of discussion as it pertained to specifically football. 5 of the 6 offer that, and then also all the other sports. And we presented a ticket proposal along with some different options there. This is the first time I can remember that all of our schools will be on the exact same pricing, so it'll make sense for all of our parents and our communities out there. We will continue to use the GoFan app at the high schools, and of course some of the schools will offer some other options, discounts for pre-passes or annual passes for students or those fans that want to come in and purchase those tickets with a check or with cash. So we're very excited. It was due to the work of these fine men and women here that lead these schools, and I'm proud to work alongside them.
I have a question,
Yes.
please. First of all, for the public, when you pay a ticket price, go and pay your ticket price, that money does what at a school? Does it go directly into an athletic fund, or does it go in general? How does that?
Great question.
Be asking, if you're gonna get our money, where's it going?
I'm going to let Mr. Morello come up because I gave him a little kind of a point today to talk through some of that stuff as being one of the leaders of our Niceville High School in terms of what they are using this money for and where it goes
Right.
to offset some of these athletic costs.
Good morning, Ms. Morrell.
Good morning, thank you. Didn't know I was getting hammered for the first question, but you got it. So it's sports specific, so if you buy a ticket at the football game, then that's going into a football account. So that is some of the funding that those sports have, but not all of it. And a couple of data points on if there was questions about the necessity to raise the prices. It's just a cost factor of what things are costing now. To recondition and recertify our helmets in football, which has to be done every year, that ticket price this year we just paid was $16,000 at Niceville just to put the kids in a safe helmet for this year. But other sports, so the FHSA has gone to this thing where you go to a Final Four. Now they're using host sites for that. So our girls soccer team made it to the Final Four, so they go to a host site, which is wonderful. We used to host that first Final Four game. So we go to DeLand and play on a Monday. So you go Sunday night, so there's a hotel cost there and a charter bus. But if you win, now you're going to have that night, and then you don't play again until Wednesday, so you have another night in a hotel. So that trip ended up being just south of $15,000 for girls soccer to go to the Final Four this year. And then umpire costs is listed, and Mrs. Polsky did research on that. A baseball season now is north of $7,000 in umpires for JV and varsity season. So, you see it everywhere we go when you talk about cost factors involved, but in the sports programs, the $1 to $2 increase in ticket price isn't going to completely offset those costs, but any little bit at this point would help.
So what I'm hearing you say is if our students go into playoffs, then this kind of helps offset some of the money of the cost. Because I know oftentimes, and we have a lot of times our students do well
Yes, ma'am.
in athletics and are going into some, and we're all hearing, donations, whatever, to get them there. So you're saying some of this will help offset that?
Yes, ma'am, because that would be direct deposited into their own individual accounts, and they could be good stewards of those accounts. I think a coach kind of knows going into a season, like we got a group who can make a run. Maybe I don't buy that extra warm-up suit and save a little funds back for what's probably going to be, hopefully, a charter trip to South Florida.
And every sport will have the same ticket price?
No, ma'am.
It's different, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And then one other question is, did you look at ticket prices just because to neighboring school districts, just by chance, to see if they were compatible?
Mr. Spolsky?
Smooth, Mr. Morello.
That was good.
We did look at Walton and we looked at Santa Rosa. And as a sidebar of that, our ticket prices are still anywhere from $2 to $4 less than what the Florida High School Activities Association is charging at our district and our state series. So we feel like we had a really good landing spot for our community in terms of what the prices would be for the varsity football games and then all the other sports. And of course, we still kept the discount there for the students versus the adults. So.
Yeah. Well, when we get asked that.
Twice in the last 6 years, the FHSA has increased their ticket prices for playoffs, which we stayed stagnant.
Oh, yeah, so when we go there, you have to pay that price, so.
Playoffs, you're paying their fee.
Yeah, that's right. Board members, anything else on this topic? Okay, we're good. Thank you very much. All right, moving down to Section 8, Superintendent's Human Resources Recommendation. 8.1 for information only, employees on administrative leave, presented by Ms. Maxey. 8.2, Deferred Retirement Option Program, presented by Ms. Maxey. 8.3, Employment Separations, presented by Ms. Maxey. 8.4, Personnel Recommendations, presented by Ms. Maxey. 8.5, Employee Transfers, presented by Ms. Maxey. 8.6, Employee Termination, presented by Ms. Maxey. 8.7, Leave Without Pay, presented by Ms. Maxey. 8.8, Reinstatement, Reimbursement of Sick Leave due to Line of Duty Illness, Injury, Medical Examination, presented by Ms. Maxey. At this time, we have nothing on the discussion agenda. Moving down to 10, Construction Program Owners Representatives Business. Mr. Heinley isn't here, but he gave a thorough report in our meeting earlier in the month on 10.1. We do have an item at 10.2, TPM Program Number 6, Task Order Number 12, Scope Modification Number 7, GMP Wright Elementary School Cafeteria Renovation Sales Tax Project, presented by Mr. Keith. All right, moving along to Section 11, Attorney's Business, Mr. McGinnis.
No report this morning.
Thank you, sir. All right, moving down to 12, Superintendent's Business.
Thank you, Madam Chair, School Board. I do have a few updates this morning. First of all, just want to welcome everybody back from spring break. Hopefully everybody had a great time, got some rest and relaxation, and ready to hit the ground running for the remainder of this school year. I do want to just say, I alluded to it earlier in terms of the legislative process. As you know, that the timeline is supposed to be as such as the budget and all things associated with that is done in the March timeframe. Well, that has been extended, and there will be a special session that will be held in mid-April. And oftentimes when that happens, we expect another 2 weeks until they come to some form of an agreement. But you know what happened last year, that 2 weeks was much longer. With that said, we still have our staffing pattern that's ready to go with our budget in mind. And like I've shared with this board, we do have an overall budget that we're looking at as well that will be brought to you in the summer, where you will see several adjustments to make sure that we're in line to do what we need to do to have a balanced budget. I will say that anytime that you go through this, it's not easy, but you have to be able to make decisions with the funds that you have and be able to do it responsibly. And that is the goal of what we will eventually bring to you. I do want to share that as we go forward the rest of this semester, just like you saw a position that's coming before you tonight, that one being a vacant position. Any positions that come before you that are not school level positions are part of the restructure. So you may see a position that could be added, and the only reason it would be added is if we took multiple things away for that. As you know, in December we did a restructure at the district level where we were able to adjust our budget by $350,000 to the good. As you know, we've continued to work through that process, and with any positions that you see coming forward, that will be associated with a new restructure, and that total will be about $702,000 in terms of a restructure. So almost another $350,000 adjustment that will be there. I say all that to say, not for any pat on the back at all. It's just a matter of, if we're going to make adjustments in one area, we got to be able to make adjustments at the district level. And what I do not want, which can't necessarily control to the extent, is any positions that come forward looking as though we're just throwing caution to the wind with budgets and saying, hey, we're just adding a position, or we're doing this, and that's not the case. All of these have been purposefully planned. With the position tonight, we're making other adjustments as part of this additional $350,000-ish that will be a part of that $702,000. So we're removing some things based on where we are in today's budgetary world, but at the same time, we still have to be strong. So HR has to be still strong to do what we need to do. academic and student services still has to be strong, as well as our MIS group, as well as our operations group. But schools have to be strong as well. And if schools are gonna have to make adjustments, then the district office is also gonna have to make adjustments. I just thought that that was important to say, that as we continue to go forward the rest of this semester, that when we see any positions that come forward, it's part of the restructure. And of course, if it's a school level position, such as a principal, such as an AP, that's what we do every year. And that means that there was a position vacated and a position now needs to be filled. Any questions as to that?
No, sir, I do want to ask you, and you stated before, but just I think it bears repeating, that you have asked in your request to this board and what we've done to, you've done a lot of cutting on the district side. I know you have a figure. Do you mind saying what you've cut in, say, the last year or so, district-wide, to make the budget?
No, I appreciate that. And again, not saying this as any badge of honor, it's just factual information. Since 2024, 2025, which will include what happened this year and which will include what will happen next year. And we still could potentially go further next year. But what happens next year, that'll be $1,438,705.
From the district?
From the district office,
Budget,
$1.4 million.
That's significant. So I just wanted the public to know that we're not asking schools to cut, but also not at the district level.
Ms. Vancheck, if I can comment real quick.
Certainly.
It is this board's duty and the superintendent's duty to manage the budget. And that's what we're doing. We're managing the budget and we're working with the superintendent. So cuts always seem pretty extreme, but just so you know, this board manages the budget, and making tough choices is part of that process. So I always like to reiterate that we manage the budget. So.
And I appreciate that. And as this board knows, over the last 2 years, in terms of managing a budget, we've had to manage about $22 million. And this year will be more. We'll be north of 10 million, probably north of 15 million in terms of managing a budget. So decisions have to be made, and to the extent possible, we want to keep them as far away from the schools as possible, to the extent possible. I just appreciate the work of this senior staff, our CFO, as we've gone through this. I appreciate all the individual calls that I've had with principals, and understanding where we are in today's public education. And like I've said, we're not going to whine about this. We are going to speak to our legislators like we have done. But when all is said and done, we have to manage this budget and present to you in the summer a balanced budget while placing the district in a strong position still, to the best of our ability, to do great things for kids, which is what we will do. Also wanted to say, we do have the health clinic ribbon cutting that's coming forward, and that's going to be Thursday, April 2nd at 2 o'clock. Again, I just thank our HR group, and especially the risk management group under Ms. Maxey. I thank the BOG and the work that they've done, really looking at how we can continue to strengthen our health services for our employees. This is another, which I would call an added bonus for employees. And as you know, in today's world, and Mr. Destin has said it well, when it's hard to go to a doctor's office sometimes, or it's hard to get an appointment, to have this for our employees at no cost, I think is beneficial. It's also part of a strategic plan that this isn't the first one that we do. It's part of a strategic plan that we also have another health clinic or so to come. But looking at this first one, making sure that it opens well and it does what we anticipate it to do. This should also be a something that is a cost saver for our health plan overall as time goes on. So again, I just could not be more proud of the work of the BOG and our risk management for what they've been doing in this venture. So just really appreciate that.
Can I make a comment?
Certainly.
So we were talking about it this morning. You know, even school board members do get sick every once in a while, and I did this past week and happened to be down by the clinic, and I said, well, I'm just going to walk in and see what it's all about. And first of all, don't just walk in. Sometimes you do need to make an appointment. So, but they will work. If they can get you in, they're going to get you in. So, but I do want to say, echo there that they were very professional. They helped me get what I needed, and I was able to get a prescription without no cost, walk out, and was diagnosed right there on the spot too. They did everything they needed to do to find out what was going on with me. But I agree with Mr. Chambers. This is just another added benefit to our employees, and I hope everybody that can take advantage of it will take advantage of it. I can tell you that it helped me, so I'm really excited about the program. And I know this is something that we've been working on for years, and it's finally open, and it's a great thing for our employees, so, and their family members.
Thank you, Mr. Bryant. And I do want to let the board know that tonight we will have our Youth Leadership Council that'll be here. They'll be sharing a project that they've been working on. So I just appreciate Commissioner Palmer and his work. I appreciate Mr. Spolsky and his work. This was, if you go back several years ago, a joint venture between our school district and our county commissioners. So looking at how we can impact Okaloosa County as a whole, both the school district and Okaloosa County. So the students who are on here get a great deal of leadership opportunities, and they'll be here tonight, and they'll share just a little bit of information. And then lastly, I do want to highlight a student that was a Sunshine State Scholar and a STEM Scholarship recipient. And that student being Emma Michael, and it's a Niceville High School junior, and she's been recognized as Florida's top 10 students, and also is a 2026 Sunshine State Scholar, and this is awarded to 10 students statewide. So to receive that upon the multiple students that we have across the state of Florida, to receive that, be one of 10, I think that's pretty impressive. And she had to look at and go through the process, so she had to write multiple essays as part of this process. But what she's earned is a one-year scholarship from the Florida Prepaid College Foundation. And so just want to say highlights to her. And I think this is just another example of the caliber of student that we have at our high schools who really compete at this. And this isn't the first time that we've had students winning in this area. So just congratulations. And that's all I have right now, Madam Chair.
Thank you, sir. All right, appreciate that. All right, moving on down to section 13, board members' announcements. The first thing, board members, is that there are 4 of us who've requested 13.1 to travel to the FSBA Annual Summer Joint Conference. So we'll have to get that approved tonight. And then we'll go to your announcements. So, 6, 7? Had to do it. Who wants to go first?
I'm going to save all the superlatives for tonight, and I guess since Mr. Heinley's not here, do we save the presidential quiz? You got it? All right, I'll defer to co-counsel.
Tonight, I think we need to all answer in unison and tell them about who it is.
So do we know who the 23rd person?
Harrison, right?
Harrison.
So which one?
The younger one.
Benjamin.
Yeah.
But if you add 23 and 23 together, that's 46. So we know 45 and 47 is.
Yeah.
Who is 46? That would be Joseph Biden.
That's right, right in the middle. Gotcha. Okay, you want to?
Yeah, I just have one quick announcement just to say welcome back everybody from spring break. For those that think that everybody at the school district just took off and went and did something with their family and all that, that's not true. Not everybody did that, especially our maintenance workers. And I know Mr. McElroy's here, Mr. Myers here. I just wanted to comment that I had an opportunity to ride around with some of our maintenance workers the other day on Thursday, just to see what was going on behind the scenes. And what a great job they're doing, getting these air conditioning units put in, all the little things that are going on. This is an opportunity for them to go into the schools, knock things out when there's no students there, because some things have to wait until there are no students there. And they were working hard at Baker and Laurel Hill. I will say that I climbed up a ladder. That was a feat within itself. If anybody knows, I'm not a ladder.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
I am not a ladder person, but I did make it up. Thank God they had the lift that got me down. So this was at Laurel Hill School. But I do want to just reach out or just comment on the ones that were working that day. And there's so many people that are working in maintenance. It would be a dishonor if I couldn't name them all, but I'm going to name the ones that I got the opportunity to talk with, and that was Kevin Van Dyke, LaRon Norville, Hunter Beavis, Christopher Burleson, Philip Reed, Mike Opozo, Tim Stacey, and the North End Supervisor, John Myers. We had a great visit, and just want to say thank you to all of our maintenance workers who took this spring break to get a lot of things accomplished, so thank you.
You good?
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. I have a couple items. First of all, I want to congratulate Ms. D'Amica McClendon at Baker. She was named the head girls basketball coach, and she was doing the coaching, I hope there's no problem here, at Niceville, but she actually teaches at Baker. Yay. I see y'all are sitting apart. She does the criminal justice program. She's a wonderful, she was Baker's Teacher of the Year. She's a wonderful employee, so I'm looking forward to seeing her coach those girls in basketball. So congratulations to Ms. McClendon. Also want to talk about over at MEGS, they have a new podcast program. And that's Dr. Moody, one of their guidance counselors does it, but they interviewed me the other day, and I get interviewed, in this position quite a bit, but it's scary when you're getting interviewed by students because you don't want to mess up. They did a fantastic job. They've obviously been trained very well. They did a lot of their homework, asked some really great questions. These are 7th and 8th graders. They're doing a great job. I understand they're looking towards you, Mr. Superintendent. But they asked a couple of things. First of all, they must think I'm 110 because they asked me what middle school was like when I was in it. And I had to inform them that I didn't attend middle school because back then it was called junior high. And they looked at me like this, and I explained, but we got... I know. They're like, did you have indoor plumbing? I mean, it's like...
Did you flip out your rotary phone too?
So, but we got past that question and everything. But they asked some good questions. Like they asked if I could add any subject to their curriculum, what would it be? Ooh, that is a good question. So I stammered through that a little bit because we offer a lot of good things and all that. And the other thing is they asked me what advice I would give to a student who wants to be a leader and move up. And so I'm telling you, it was terrific, and they were right on it. So I appreciate Ms. Bowell, the principal, and Dr. Moody over there. It's a lot of fun. So I've broken the ground for a couple of the others of you that can go over there and go. That's a great program. What a great experience for those students. So that was exciting. All right. Moving along. So we're going to go down to 14, which will be public comment, the yellow card. Members of the public desiring to address the school board with general comments. And before we adjourn, first of all, do any of our guests here today have anything they would like to say? I'm giving you your moment. All right, okay. All right, staff, anything? Okay, all right, over here, Mr. Strong, Mr. Dingus, Ms. Appleberg. All right, I'm giving you all a chance. Okay, in that case, we are adjourned. Thank you.